Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Water Online Show. My name is Angela Godwin. I'm your host, and we are coming to you from the AWWA's ACE conference here in Denver, Colorado. Joining me today, my guests are Derek Scott and John Helf, both with American Flow Control. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Great. I am really excited to catch up because when we spoke last year, you had a couple of new announcements, new product announcements. You had a wet barrel hydrant, I believe, and you had a check valve too. So tell us about the hydrant.
We did, and thanks for asking about that. If you remember a couple of shows back, we talked a little bit about a new facility we've got in Indiana, it's a new product development facility. And one of the products that has been spawned from that is a wet barrel fire hydrant that you mentioned. And it's going very well. I think it's only going to get better. Our product is available here at the AWWA show, ACE25. Or online at american-usa.com. The difference in this hydrant and what we had before, we've got a dry barrel hydrant that really covers most of the United States. Wet barrel hydrants really are only applicable to Southern California and some locations in Arizona. And the product, I think we told you last time, we named it SEQUOIA, paying homage to the great trees in California, the great mighty sequoia tree. And so we've kind of followed that, thought it was in liking with the iconic brands that we already had with the American Darling and the Waterless fire hydrants. This was a tremendous project for us. It was a collaborative effort. We listened strongly to the voice of the customer and used some focus groups. Sales was involved. A new product development facility I mentioned was involved. Our manufacturing plant, such as a Waters company, was heavily involved in bringing this to market. But it was just, I can't emphasize enough, it was designed heavily on customer feedback. Some of the design features include, it's got American's exclusive nozzle retention system that we use on our other hydrants. It's UL and FM rated at 350 PSI. Interchangeable stems. This was a maintenance feature that we heard from a lot of customers that they would like to have. EPDM seals, epoxy coating on the interior, and polyurethane on the outside. And of course, it's AWWA C503 compatible. And we've also got another product that we're bringing online. It's a new traffic impact check valve that will work with this. And to us, it was new to us, but not new to the market. And so we felt like sometimes it's better to go a little later. So.
Yeah, that's great. Now the check valve too, right? So you would tell us a little bit more how that's going.
Yeah, sure. So we released the Series 2200 swing check valve earlier this year. Just as background, we have at American manufactured two different traditional swing check valves for a number of years. They've been very successful. Those would be the American Darling 50 line and the Waters Series 600. But with the 2200, we saw an opportunity to consolidate the best features of both of those product lines and also add in some newer customer-driven features. And so now we feel what we're left with is an industry-leading design. We're really excited about it. Let me just give you some high points here. It's going to be available in 3 through 12 inch. It's made of ductile iron, which allows for a 350 PSI pressure rating in both AWWA and UL requirements. It is going to be FB coated. It's available as a spring-assisted or weight-assisted closure, and it should be all those factors should allow it to be very flexible in meeting city specifications across the United States and Canada. Another newer feature is that it's top serviceable. So what that means is that just like with our Series 2500 resilient wedge gate valve, should you need to do any field repairs, you can replace all the internal components by simply removing the bonnet and dropping a whole new set of internals in from the top. So that's going to be a game changer as far as quickness and ease of maintenance for 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line. So we are just extremely excited about this new product.
I imagine that really does simplify maintenance incredibly. That's very
absolutely
cool. Derek, I want to go back to something you mentioned, that traffic impact valve, right?
Yeah, it's a check valve also, but it's unique to the SEQUOIA fire hydrant. And a little bit of a fun fact, the geysers you see on TV, when a car hits a hydrant, and you see this very sensational geyser, Typically, that would apply to Southern California. And due to the influence of TV and cinematography and movies, it's kind of stuck with fire hydrants. It doesn't really happen in the rest of the U.S. About 10 or 15 years ago, there was a movement to try to do something similar. And so we developed a check valve. It's compatible really with any fire hydrant that's wet barrel. And so it's 4 hours. And I probably ought to explain the difference between dry and wet, just to give a little bit of color in that. A wet barrel fire hydrant is pressurized and charged at the top. So you actually operate it right by the caps. You'll actuate the seat away from the cap. But the pressure's inside the hydrant. A dry barrel is not. So that's why you wouldn't see the geyser. So we put this check valve on there. If there is a traffic impact, it'll shut off and prevent that from happening. Now there is a kind of a visual there where it offers a small spray so that people can see that, yeah, it's been hit and there's a problem. But we've got a lot of experience in that arena. In fact, American, back in 1939, developed the first traffic impact hydrant and patented it. And that's a kind of a gold standard of the industry today.
That's great. That sounds really cool.
It is.
Perfect.
We're excited about it as well.
Nice. So, John, let me ask you, American Flow Control, obviously a leader in this industry. What sets it apart, would you say, from its competitors?
In short, it's our culture. That really started with our first president, John Egan, back 120 years ago, who had a vision of implementing the golden rule in business. And the golden rule is to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But put another way, treat others the way you'd want to be treated. So we find our culture in practicing that philosophy with one another and with our customers. But maintaining that culture over 120 years takes a deep commitment and a lot of work. So that really starts at the top with our leadership, who have a servant leadership mentality. On the other end of the spectrum, it's very important that we find employees new employees that meet our culture, that fit into our culture. If we do that, if we focus on integrity, hard work, team players in our hiring process, what we're left with is a pipeline of just blue chip people. So that guarantees the continuation of John Egan's golden rule philosophy, and really that's what sets us apart in our culture.
That's amazing. That's great. A lot of hard work to keep that going.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So now if our viewers watching, they want to get in touch with you, they want to chat with you, learn a little bit more, what would you have them do?
Sure. Well, you guys, anyone that's listening to this can feel free to reach out to me or Derek directly at our email. That would be the first initial of our first name and our last name at american-usa.com. So for me, that'd be Helf, Helf as in Frank, at american-usa.com. Also, we have a fantastic industry-leading website where you can find out all about the products we've discussed today and many more. And further, sometimes it's helpful to see case studies. We have many case studies on our website. Those can be found at the news tab on the top of the banner of our website, which, one more time, american-usa.com.
Excellent.
One of the things you'll find out are people oftentimes are asking the same questions. And so those case studies John mentioned are invaluable. It's instances where folks have gone through the same things you're asking. And it's well worth taking a look.
I couldn't agree more. It's always nice when you're having an issue to hear how somebody else in your same position solved it. So those case studies, that's fantastic. You have that as a resource. That's great. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate you coming by and chatting with us. We wish you all the best of luck going forward, all the great initiatives and things you have going on. And we hope to see you again next time.
Great.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
And to all of you who tuned in, we want to thank you for watching the Water Online Show. My name is Angela Godwin.